Hello, everyone, and welcome to metroTV. I'm your host, Andy Hoyd, publisher and CEO of Metro Magazine. We have a great show for you today. I am talking with Dominique Morgan from Black and Pink and also Susan Payne from Girl Scouts Spirit of Nebraska. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Well, I'm so happy to be here with Susan Payne, the Public Relations Specialist, Girl Scouts Spirit of Nebraska. Susan, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me, Andy.
And it's cookie season. It's cookie season, but this cookie season is looking a little bit different from last year. But let's just talk a little bit about the tradition of cookie sales and what that means to the Girl Scouts.
Absolutely. Girl Scouts have been selling cookies for more than 100 years, and that tradition will continue this year despite the challenges of the pandemic. The girls are saying they won't let a pandemic stop them from reaching their goals.
And so let's just talk a little bit about that too. So what does that mean, reaching their goals? So how is this like a different cookie sale season than from the past?
Yeah, because of the pandemic, girls are faced with challenges of maybe choosing not to do traditional avenues of selling door to door. So because of the pandemic and because safety for our girls and our customers are our top priority, we have done so many things to make them comfortable in reaching their goals. So just like a lot of small businesses have experienced in the pandemic, Girl Scouts are pivoting to address that challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. So how can, because a lot of times, like you said in the past, typically Girl Scouts are coming door to door, but how can the community buy their cookies when that's not actually happening right now?
Yeah, so girls have the option to do traditional selling door to door. Of course, we encourage masks and safety, but all of our selling options are designed to support the troops. So if customers decide to do online ordering through a registered Girl Scout troop, those proceeds still support that troop.
Yeah.
And then also, even with Grubhub, they've graciously waived all fees so that Girl Scouts can still get those proceeds back to their troops.
Yeah. So okay, let me ask you this. So let me ask you this first.
Mm-hmm.
When we're buying Girl Scout cookies, what are those funds going to? Because Girl Scouts, I was a Girl Scout, like I said, decades and decades ago, and
Mm-hmm.
it was really great for me to do that. It was such an important kind of lesson and learning all these different things in my life. What does being a Girl Scout mean? And that's why buying Girl Scout cookies, you're really supporting the Girl Scout the programs.
Yeah. When customers purchase cookies, they directly support Nebraska Girl Scouts. So all the proceeds from the cookies stay local. Girl Scouts can use their proceeds to do community projects, whether that be supporting flood or COVID relief efforts, feeding the homeless, refurbishing playground equipment. They have the option and the choice to do what they want with the proceeds in that aspect. So
Yeah.
people who support Girl Scout cookies in Nebraska are directly supporting local troops. And that's the amazing part about the program, because it inspires girls to reach their goals, to have business ethics skills, networking, money management, all the things that someone could learn from a small business, girls are learning and they're using what they learn to eventually pursue careers in those fields. So all around, when customers support Girl Scouts, they're directly supporting girls in their local communities.
Yeah. All right. So if you don't have a Girl Scout knocking on your door to buy Girl Scout cookies, where do you go to actually buy Girl Scout cookies?
Yeah. So this year, if there isn't a Girl Scout at your door, you can find them doing drive-through cookie booths around your city. Or you can do virtual cookie booths and order online. We also have online delivery, and they can sell via social media. So if they have connections or mom parents that they know with Girl Scouts, they can contact them directly through social media. There's so many ways to buy Girl Scout cookies this year. It's limitless.
Yeah. All right. So one of the things that I have on my Q&A is like, what are some fun facts about cookies? What can you tell us? What can you tell us about that?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Thin Mints are our top selling cookie. People absolutely love them.
Yeah.
They're one of my favorites too, but that is one that we don't see ever going away. Another fun fact, Thin Mints, lemonades, peanut butter patties, and the new cookie toastiers, they're all vegan. And a lot of people don't know that, and I think it's super cool that we have that option.
Yes.
Another fun fact.
And vegan meaning that there's no like dairy, there's no
animal byproducts in the cookies,
which is an important thing. A lot of people, my niece is looking for that as well during this year. She's very conscious about being vegan, so that's really great that you have that.
Yeah, a lot of people are health conscious, so we're very proud to have that option for customers who are vegan. Another fun fact is cookies have different names depending on the bakers that we use. So we use ABC Bakers, and we call our caramel delights, but in other regions they might call them Samoas.
Okay. And what's the like other regions meaning? What does that mean? Like what regions?
In different states. So maybe in another state like Louisiana, they might call them Samoas.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly which states call them differently, but when you do connecting via social media, you'll see tons of different names for different cookies.
Yes. Okay. I mean, it's just kind of fun to like learn the background and learn, again, the fun facts about cookies. Because again, this started, I mean, Girl Scout cookies, this is 100-year plus tradition, and it's not going away. But what I'm loving to see is that with what's happening and the pandemic and all this, that everybody's just kind of pivoting, and this is how you can get Girl Scout cookies into your world, because it is an important fundraising event. I mean, this is just, every year.
Absolutely. Girls depend on, and us as an organization, we depend on the cookie season fundraiser. It's the largest girl-led entrepreneurial program in the world. And it gives girls such amazing experiences with the proceeds that they can earn. They can travel, they can do different programs, they can pursue so many opportunities that we have for them as members. And not only that, they're inspired to help their local communities.
Absolutely.
So the funds go all the way around, and we're just so thankful for supporters and people who buy Girl Scout cookies and support them directly. So,
well, Susan, thank you. I mean, thank you so much for coming on and chatting with me about this. And I know have you on again, because you do have different events coming up throughout the year. So we'll definitely come back and chat about those in the future. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Andy.
And we'll talk to you soon. Well, everyone, I'm here. I'm so excited to be with Dominique Morgan, Executive Director of Black and Pink. So let's just first of all, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
So we're going to talk, so first Black and Pink, let's just talk about the mission, but then we're going to dive into a bigger vision that you have.
Yeah. So Black and Pink is the largest organization in the country that looks at the needs of LGBTQ plus people, people who identify as living with HIV and AIDS, who have been impacted by the justice system. And when we use the term impacted, that allows us to look at the needs, of course, of people who have been incarcerated or formerly incarcerated, as myself, but also their children, their partners, the neighborhood, and the communities that they're connected to in a larger way. It allows us to really talk about mass incarceration as a public health issue and efforts that will be able to address it and be able to build healthy and striving communities.
So before we get into the Opportunity Campus, I just want to talk a little bit more about that. Like, where are you with that? I mean, how can people contribute to that piece?
So Black and Pink we're in our 16th year. I've been the executive director for 3 years. I moved the offices from Boston to Omaha when I became the ED because I believe in I believe in my city. I believe in our community. Our nonprofit community here is one of the most beautiful communities I've ever witnessed. And so when we think about showing up, of course, financial donations are awesome, but everything from just talking about the issues of mass incarceration at the dinner table and in places that you wouldn't, sharing information on social media, all the way to we have a pen pal program. There are opportunities for volunteerism. We also have Lighted House here in Omaha. We made history last February opening the first house for LGBTQ plus people who have been formerly incarcerated in the country. And so there's opportunities there as well.
So what brought you, because I'm totally sidebarring from this. What brought you from Boston to Omaha?
Well, I'm born and raised in Nebraska. And I will be 39 in March, but from the age of 18 to 27, I navigated Nebraska's correction system. I was incarcerated. I was a youth in foster care. I was a youth in homeless shelters here. I was a young person on the street. And so when I was released from prison February 16th of 2009, I really wanted to be able to give back. And I was able to get opportunities. I worked at Charles Drew and I was able to get my undergrad. I have a master's from Georgetown and I was positioned to take this role with Black and Pink, but I told them I wouldn't take it if I could not move the offices to a community that I know and love. And also there's power in us being in the center of the country. People, that flyover states conversation, those of us from Nebraska, from Omaha, we know the power that exists here. And I wanted to weaponize that to create change through Black and Pink. And so we're 3 years in, and it's been a beautiful experience.
All right. Oh my goodness. All right. We're going to keep having conversations about that. But let's talk about Opportunity Campus. Yes. What is that?
The Opportunity Campus, again, as a young person who was impacted by the system here and someone who still works in juvenile justice, I was honored to be awarded from the Nebraska Juvenile Justice Association as the Juvenile Justice Leader of the Year just a week ago. We need to activate this work in a broader way. And on top of and these spaces are in Nebraska, but they serve the country. Our Lighting House initiative, we've had women from all across the country, Black trans women, move to Omaha to find a space that they can thrive. We have a girl from Memphis here right now. Imagine, Omaha is the space that you come to heal and be able to grow. And so I believe we can use that same platform for young people. There is an incredible space in North Omaha. I'm a kid that grew up, born and raised in North Omaha, that I believe the power of a queer ran as a Black trans woman to be able to steward that work in a historically Black neighborhood and to be able to create space for immediately 10 young people to have apartments. We have plans for a school, for a full industrial kitchen to be able to offer hot meals, community-based space, and to really, again, that North Omaha 24th Street corridor that I grew up walking down with my parents and grandparents, to be able to find a space of healing and restoration seems incredible. And we'll be able to serve young people all across the United States that will come to Omaha again to find their new life.
Okay, so I'm looking at my notes, and I have to look at my notes,
Yeah.
what will success look like, feel like in 5 to 10 years?
In 5 to 10 years, I will see more people like me than not like me. As a Black trans woman who's formerly incarcerated, the life expectancy of Black trans women is 32. I'll be 39 in March. The idea of me having a undergrad degree, a graduate degree, I am the only Black trans woman running a nonprofit at this level in the entire country.
Wow.
And there's a space where I could be happy with that, and I can be like, oh, look at me. But success for me looks like there are a bunch of Dominic Morgans. There are a bunch of folks like me that there's a list of people that you just couldn't even count how many people you could talk to about their success who have parts of my story. That's what success looks like, because I'm here by hard work, but I'm also here by grace and by community loving me and supporting me. And so I really believe it's my responsibility to pay that back. And I believe Black and Pink is the tool I've been given to do that. And I've been blessed to do it for 3 years. And through the Opportunity Campus, I foresee us shifting the entire culture of youth needs in this country right here in Omaha, Nebraska.
All right, Dominic, let me ask you this, because we do have a couple minutes left. How can people, across the country, how can people contribute and really take what you're doing, which to me is huge, necessary, and so important? How can we contribute to you, whether it's me or whoever it is? How can we help you get that message out? Because what you're doing is freaking amazing, and it's important. And it's big. It's huge.
It is. And that's why the help piece, I don't want help. I want folks to engage in solidarity effort.
Yeah.
Because what I was saying to someone yesterday is that this is a part of my dream, but I don't want this to be hinged on my existence. If in 5 years, I win the lottery and I want to be on a beach somewhere in the middle of our snowstorm here in Nebraska, but I'm calling y'all saying, girl, look at this sun. I want these endeavors to continue to grow. And the only way that happens is if community is not only involved in how it's created, they're involved in it coming into fruition. And that's where donations are essential. We have $300,000 we need to acquire in the next 60 days to get this space. And the beautiful thing about that is that as soon as we buy that building, there are 10 apartments immediately available for young people. And outside of that, talking about it, telling people what's happening here. I talked to someone in New York the other day. I can't believe this would be happening in Omaha, Nebraska. Well, not only is this happening here, but Andrea, as you know, so much incredible work happens here. Talk about it. Tell them that Black and Pink is here. If you want to talk about my story, it's everywhere from TED Talks to other things. You can inbox me on Facebook, but just tell them that young people in our country, including in Omaha, are spending the night on the streets, are not thriving in justice systems. And these are the kids who will be living next door to us. These are the kids that will be dating our friends and our nieces and nephews. And don't we want everybody around us to thrive? And so this project, I really believe, gets Omaha further down the line to the Omaha that you and I and so many of our friends are working towards every day. You come from generational change makers. I know that. And so I want to be able to invest in young people to where they're a part of that too. So talking about it, again, investing financially, because that's going to be essential, and telling people that this work is viable, because also it's about community investment of just caring. We want you all to care about this work, because that is how our people are safe and protected. And in 5 years, I believe that we'll be having a conversation about the 5-year anniversary of the Opportunity Campus and how you and I talked about it before anybody else was talking about it.
I agree with that. And I actually believe that conversation will be happening, because people are wanting to make a difference and people are wanting to engage, but sometimes they just don't know how to. And but also bringing that to the forefront, like you just said, is like, this is what we're doing. And oh my goodness, I'm excited about the future, because I think the more that we start to talk about it and really allow people to see what it is, and talk about the stuff that is uncomfortable, but that keeps moving us forward. So
that's uncomfortable, but I truly believe, and I'm a living witness, can be addressed.
yeah,
It's not the fun stuff to talk about, but I was 19, sleeping on the street, homeless, sleeping in cars, and going through things. I stand before you all 20 years later, thriving. And again, yes, I worked hard, but it's because of people like Ann Smolsky and Brenda Council and Jim Soto and Nikki Zaporowski and all of those people who have touched my life in between, that have supported me in being where I'm at. And the Opportunity Campus will give us a chance to get rid of chance. It will make sure that there are opportunities for our young people. And I don't think there's anything better for us to put ourselves behind. So I'm thankful for you giving me some time today to talk about this. I'm overly thankful for everyone who's going to support us through this process. And I'm excited to do this in my city, in my home state, a place that I love more than I can really describe.
All right, Dominique, we will definitely get together in the next maybe 2 to 3 months and just have a recap and keep talking about this, because everything, it's just like ease, joy, glory with everybody. And how do we create just the most magnitude? I mean, I'm stumbling here. It's all good. I mean, it's all good. And we all are here for everybody. And the more we talk about this and the more that we just kind of bring everybody together, I just think that's beautiful. And I just, again, thank you so much for this conversation. My gosh, I just love it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. Be sure to follow us on Facebook. It's Metro Magazine, all one word. You can find us on Twitter. Go to our website, spiritofomaha.com. We'll have this show and past shows of Metro TV that you can watch, and also just lots of really great information and articles about nonprofits and people making a difference in our community. So thank you again, and I will see you back here next week.